Well, the chairman's main job is obviously to lead the board, but the board has a very important role in really overseeing the interests of our shareholders and making sure that everything we do is in the best interests of our shareholders. So that entails working with our manager, working with our various marketing groups and outside vendors to make sure that all of everything we're doing is actually ultimately in the interests of those underlying shareholders. The 150th anniversary has been a tremendous opportunity for us to get out and tell our long story, and we think it's gone very well. The theme has been the past, present and future, and there's a lot to learn from our distinguished past in terms of how we've managed the trust through very difficult periods and what the key drivers of our success have been. But it's very important to stay focused on the present and the future. And we've done that through a series of lectures and engaging with younger people and financial education as well. So we put everything together. I think the celebration has really been great because it's been able to promote the trust, but not in it's really been more through learning and trying to get people to understand the benefits of long-term investing. Well, I think what's worked well is really the execution of a lot of the events we've had and the interest we've had in our anniversary. So whether it's the book or the actual lecture series we've done or some of the other events we've held around it, they've been very well received and very well managed as well. So the interest in the trust, I think, has sort of been better than we were expecting. And part of that is because we've been celebrating not just the 150 years of foreign and colonial investment trust, but actually of the whole investment trust movement, and indeed the whole asset management movement, which was spawned out of the earliest investment trusts. So we've really broadened it out beyond our own individual celebrations. I mean, in terms of things that haven't worked so well, I mean, most things have actually gone well, but there's always more you could do or do better. And in the financial education theme, while we've made a great start through our engagement with schools and through our engagement with Glasgow College, there's more we can do, and actually getting financial education more embedded into the curriculum for young people so that when they start to save and earn some money, they understand what they're trying to achieve. And we'll continue to focus on that, and there's clearly more we can do in that space. The trust has performed well recently. We have a very diversified portfolio with growth managers and value managers and private equity and small cap all included in one product, so that the underlying shareholder doesn't need to make the selection themselves between these different underlying classes. And the growth managers that we've had in the portfolio have done extremely well, so our largest positions have been really driving that performance in recent years. In more volatile markets, we've tended to perform well because of this broad diversification, and hopefully that will maintain if we continue to have more volatility as we're seeing right now. The diversification we have is much broader than many of our competitors, so it's usually given us a good opportunity to sort of ride through the more difficult times. The F&C board spends a lot of time looking at the discount and helping manage the discount on behalf of the underlying shareholders. And we used to have a hard discount buyback mechanism around the 10% level when the discount was much higher than it is now. Over the course of the last couple of years, we've removed that and moved to a more flexible approach. We still will be happy to buy back shares, but not necessarily at any set particular level. And this has worked well. the discount has actually come in dramatically, and in the last few weeks we've been selling at a small premium to our net asset value. If the market or the discount was to open up again, we would definitely look at what was the right thing to do, including buying back shares again. But it's unlikely, I think, that we would put in a hard discount mechanism. It's better to have a more flexible approach that you can adapt to the market circumstances at that time. The Trust has always had a focus on income and creating a rising dividend, even though our ultimate objective is to provide total return for shareholders. Historically, most of that income came from UK shares, but as we've moved to more of a global trust, which has been the right thing to do because the global markets have provided greater diversification, the board has had a particular focus on making sure that we still have one or two disciplines that produce sufficient income to cover our dividend. So I'm very glad that we've been able to do that successfully. Our dividend is covered. We've continued to grow the dividend. In fact, it's grown for more than 40 years, and we've actually paid a dividend every single year for the last 150 years. So it's a very important part of our overall offering to shareholders. The board of F&C Investment Trust takes succession very seriously, and it's a topic that comes up regularly at our board meetings, and we have a succession plan for every member of the board. Next year it'll be 9 years since I became chairman, and therefore it seems appropriate timing for me to step down, which is why we've made this announcement. We feel it's critically important that the board has the highest governance standards and follows the governance code as closely as it possibly can, because we're investing in companies and voting at their AGMs, and our expectation is that they will follow the very highest standards. So it's very important that we do it from a position of strength and we can't be criticized for the way that we've actually managed our own affairs. Having said that, it's been a fantastic privilege and honor, really, to be chairman of this trust. I think I'm the 13th chairman in the 150 years, and I've enjoyed every minute of it, and it's particularly satisfying to see the growth we've seen in recent years, the narrowing of the discount, and the refinancing of the debt, all of which I think put the trust in a very good position for the future. So I wish my successor all the very best for the next 150 years.